हेलो दोस्तों, केजी क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है। आज हम आपको फ्रांसिस बेकन 1561 टू 1626 लाइफ स्केच के बारे में बताएंगे। फ्रांसिस बेकन आफ्टरवर्ड्स क्रिएटेड लॉर्ड वेरुलम एंड subsequently Viscount St. Albans was the youngest son by a second marriage of the Lord Keeper. Sir Nicholas Bacon, one of Queen Elizabeth's favorite minister. His mother was a woman of unusual ability, of strong character, and a decided Protestant. Her elder sister had married the great statesman Lord Burghley, who was thus Bacon's uncle. There were in the family 8 children in all, 6 by the first wife and 2 by the second. Francis and his brother Anthony, who was elder by 2 years. The mother's influence seems to have been paramount during his boyhood. Indeed, she continued supervising his health and household management even after he had entered upon public life. The two brothers, Anthony and Francis, entered Trinity College, Cambridge, in April 1573 when Francis was only 12 years old. Queen Elizabeth took much notice of him and used to call him playfully her young Lord Keeper. He left Cambridge with his brother in Christmas 1575 and the two began to study law and grace in London. In the summer of 1576, in the following year, Francis was sent to join the English embassy in Paris under Sir Amos Paulet, but his father's death in February 1579, before any provision had been made for his youngest son, compelled Bacon to return home and take seriously to law as a profession. He was called to the bar in 1582 and began a venture of grace in 1586. In 1584, he became a member of parliament for Malcolm Regis in 1586 and for Taunton, and in 1593 for Middlesex, disappointed in his expectation from Lord Burghley. Bacon resolved to advance his interest through the Queen's favourite, the Earl of Essex. He seems to have really liked and admired his patron, and he certainly was most lavish of praise and esteem for the Earl and his partisan. Essex, on his part, worked hard with the Queen to secure Bacon's advancement. When the Earl was tried in June 1600 for his failure in putting down the Irish rebellion, Bacon took a subordinate part with the council for the prosecution in order, as he said, to take advantage of any opportunity of helping his patron's case. He received as his reward 1200 out of the fines levied on those implicated in the rebellion. This was the tragedy of Bacon's life from beginning to end. He had to play a double role. When he was 25 years old, 1586, he had published a philosophical essay which, in the favor of youthful enthusiasm, he entitled The Greatest Worth. In 1597, he brought out the first edition of the book, which perhaps beyond all others had laid a sure foundation for his literary reputation. This was his essays, 10 in number. A second edition containing 38 essays was published in 1612, and the third considerably enlarged and revised in 1625. It must be remembered that Bacon uses the word essay in its etymological sense of an experimental trial. In 1605, Bacon published his first mature work in English prose, The Advancement of Learning, which forms the groundwork of his Instauratio Magna of great reconstruction of science. In the year 1608, the clerkship of the Star Chamber at last became vacant, and Bacon obtained the post that had been promised him 20 years earlier. In 1613, Edward Coke was promoted to the Chief Justiceship, and Bacon became Attorney General when the King's favourite Balliol became the all-powerful Duke of Buckingham. Bacon paid court to him with the utmost servility, and in a dispute which occurred between the common law court and the Chancery, he used his influence with the king and his subtlety as a lawyer to bring about the degradation and dismissal from office of his old rival Coke. 1616, in the same year, Bacon became Privy Councillor, and in March 1617, through Buckingham Goods Office, he was appointed Lord Keeper. In 1618, he became Lord Chancellor and was raised to the peerage as Lord Verulam, a title taken from Verulamium, the Latin name of St. Albans, near which lay Bacon's estate of Gorhamby. In 1621, he was created Viscount St. Albans. The House of Commons, led by Coke, first attempt to call Bacon to account for having pronounced judgments in favour of the legality of numerous monopolies by which Buckingham had enriched his followers. But the king interfered and refused to sanction the inquiry. They next accused him of having received bribe and set up a statement to the Lord for their judicial decision. Bacon attempted no defence but threw himself on the mercy of his peers. He was sentenced in April 1621 to fine of 14,000, to imprisonment during the king's pleasure, and to banishment from Parliament and the court. After a month, he was released from the Tower and retired to his family estate. In September, he received a pardon from the king, but in spite of all his efforts to obtain employment of favour at court, he was left unnoticed. In travelling near London, he caught cold and fever and died on April 9, 1626. He was buried in St. Michael's Church at Albans. A chronology of important dates. January 22, 1561, Francis Bacon born. 1573, Bacon joined Trinity College, Cambridge. 1576, sent to France as junior secretary to the ambassador. 1582, bar at law. 1584, member of the House of Commons for Malcolm Regis. 1603, knighted. 1606, married Alice Burnham, a lady of property. 1607, appointed Solicitor General. 1613, appointed Attorney General. 1617, appointed Lord Keeper. 1618, appointed Lord Chancellor. 1618, made Baron Verulam. 1621, made Viscount St. Albans. 1621, charged with bravery in the House of Lords. 1621, the House of Lords removed him from its membership, dismissed from all posts, fined 40,000 pounds and awarded life imprisonment. However, the king released him the next day and allowed his fines to remain unpaid. April 9, 1626, died. Publication: 1595, published the first edition of his Essex. 1605, published the Advancement of Learning in English. 1609, published the Septimier Bentham. 1612, second and enlarged edition of his essay. 1620, published the Novum Organum. 1622, published History of Henry VIII. 7th. 1623, published De Augmentis. 1625, third and enlarged edition of his essays. 1626, published the New Atlantis. Thanks.